I'm here to introduce someone who needs no introduction. We all know who he is. We've always known who he is, even if we didn't really know who he was. He was that really well-dressed dude with the good hair, intentionally avoiding the spotlight, to instead be the creative force behind the award-winning hits from multiple artists and collaborating with everyone from Bruno Mars, Lady Gaga, Adele, Duran Duran, Diplo, and of course, Amy Winehouse. What can I say about this intentionally enigmatic figure? How can we know a man who refuses to be known? How do you define that which defies definition? Maybe it can only be done with a word that's just as hard to pin down, a word like Kenergy? What is Kenergy? Other than a word I made up on a press junket so I didn't have to answer questions that'll haunt me for the rest of my life. Well, it's a noun, and I've come to understand it as the strength and vitality required to sustain a period of kenning. What is kenning, you ask? You didn't ask? Well, it's a verb, to ken. To ken is to give more than is necessary or required to reflect so that others might shine. I don't know a better way to describe Mark Ronson than that. I can tell you from firsthand experience, up until 6 months ago, the entire world gave 0 fucks about Ken. He was just this 70-year-old crotchless doll with no house, no car, no job, no voice. And look at him now. He has a Grammy-nominated power ballad and the voice of an angel. And what happened? What happened? It's simple. He met Mark Ronson, and his life changed forever. But he wasn't the first, and he won't be the last. He's just the latest in the long line of those who Mark has lent his creativity, generosity, and infinite talent to synthesize their essence into music. And let me tell you, if you've ever had your essence synthesized into music by Mark Ronson, you're going to want to give him an award too. This year, he and his team, including Andrew Wyatt, the music supervisor George Draculius, the team at Atlantic Records, and our own writer-director Greta Gerwig, gave us an epic Barbie soundtrack full of amazing music from Dua Lipa, Nicki Minaj, Ice Spice, Billie Eilish, Lizzo, Sam Smith, Tame Impala, Charlie XCX, Karol G featuring Aldo Ranks, Pink Panthers, 50/50 featuring Kali, The Kid Laroi, Haim, Khalid, Dominic Fike, Ava Max, and Gail. Single after single, it topped the charts. It has also sold over 1 million copies. It has over 3 billion global streams. Recently, it received 12 Grammy nominations. Grammys, I like to call them Grammys. That includes breaking the record for most songs to ever be nominated in the Best Song Written for Visual Media category with 4. I think it's worth it. I can't think of anyone more deserving of the Hitmaker Soundtrack of the Year award, a man who's been kenning with extreme Kenergy since before there was a word for it. I'm proud to introduce Mark Ronson.
No way to follow that, so I'm just going to massacre my speech into an eighth of what I was going to say. So thank you so much, Ryan Gosling, Ken, and thank you to Variety for this award. I will say that I wish that you also wrote my speech, but I'm just going to read what I have. I've never really overseen a soundtrack before. A lot of it was just like annoying the shit out of Kevin Parker from Tame Impala. Like, do you have the demo yet? We need the demo, things like that. But I was basically so in love with Greta Gerwig and her vision that if she had told me to put fly posters that said Barbie up and down the West Side Highway, I probably would have done that as well at that point. But I did get involved, and it was a joy to sit with all these artists and watch them while they watched clips from the film for the first time, either in person or Zoom. And I would see their eyes literally widen because they would forget to turn their cameras off while we were Zooming, while they were watching the film, as they were being sucked into Greta's heartfelt, technicolored, brilliant vision, and then the incredible performances from. Thank you very much. So thank you, Variety. No. Also, I know she's not even part of my award, but just sitting this close from Joan Baez, where I'm watching her documentary all last night, like, it's just some nerves going on. So the fact that Billy and Phineas saw 20 minutes of this film and just came back with this most haunting gobsmack ballad, Dua was so into it, she basically wrote her lyrics to choreograph Margot Robbie's dance scene, I've never written a song like I'm Just Ken before, and I probably never will in my life, because I was picturing you the entire time that I was writing it. It's like, there's just, this just brought the best out of all of us, really. And as special as it was, all the artists really came to the table, because obviously they love Greta, but the actual clearing of these artists and the fucking label politics and stuff, I have to just give my hats off to Kevin Weaver and the Atlantic team and Brandon, because I called Kevin over Memorial Day weekend about 11 times, because there was just all this stuff going on. And every time I feel like you were on the phone with Nicki Minaj. You're like, I've just got Nicki Minaj on the other line, assuring her the world, which of course she deserves, because there was no way we could make a Barbie world without her. Or, Ice Spice. I was in bed on Wednesday night at midnight, and I got a call from her manager. We're coming to the studio, so I took my pajamas off, got into clothes and rode my bike, because I'm an old guy and I don't go to the studio at midnight anymore, to play Ice Spice and Riot, and we were all willing to do whatever it took for this film. So I just want to thank the appropriate people, because I don't want to forget that, because they're so important. George Draculius, who brought me in, my manager Brandon Creed, who's the greatest manager I could ever hope for. The Atlantic, obviously my Atlantic family on this, Warner Brothers, Mattel, and all. It does feel a bit weird to stand up and accept a soundtrack award for the work of so many brilliant artists and creative people, but I'll push through it. And Ryan for the greatest speech ever that I will want tattooed across my back and on my epitaph. And thank you, Variety, for this award, and thank you so much.